All right, I think if it's okay for everyone, we can just go ahead and get started.
All
Good.
right.
Awesome. Perfect. So, hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. I'm very happy that I get to host one of these Mobi Talks again. Maybe for the people who are new, these are our webinar series where we really want to boost employee empowerment. But most of all, we just share our own insights. We share the best practices of MobiTrain, but most of all, of our clients as well. I'm Vic. I'm the content manager at MobieTrain, but today mostly I am your host, and I want to keep my own introduction very short because I have two amazing speakers here with me. Maybe first a little background. We started working with Royal Crown a while ago now, and in all honesty, it has been an amazing journey, and it has been a wonderful partnership with Frank, who is an incredible innovator, who is an ambassador of digital transformation and a wonderful speaker. So, Frank, thank you so much for joining.
So such beautiful words.
That's the truth.
Thank
It's
you
the
so
truth.
much.
And I'm also here with our wonderful customer success manager, Sven. Sven, darling, would you be so amazing as to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so indeed, my name is Finn, Customer Success Manager at MobieTrain, and I'm working together with Frank and the team on the journey for Royal Crown. I mainly support our clients through the journey in launching the application, but then also optimizing and looking for opportunities together with our clients to take the application MobieTrain, but most importantly, learning to the next level. So that's what I do.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Sven. Today we're going to share all of the insights, the things that we have tackled along our journey together. And I have some burning questions ready for Frank. But before we dive in, maybe also for the people in the chat, I'll be having a close look and see if anyone has any questions. So feel free, if anything pops up, we'll have a look and we'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions. But before we dive in, Frank, would you be so amazing as to introduce yourself as well, and of course your company?
Okay, thank you so much for the introduction, Vic. I'm Frank, as Vic told, Frank Rombouts to be exact, and I'm the managing director, CEO, and also the marketing director from Royal Crown. Royal Crown is a buying group for kitchen retailers, independent kitchen retailers, very important. What we do is buying together to have more good buying conditions, really easy. But what's the USP of Royal Crown is that besides buying for all the stores we take responsibility for, we also developed a lot of services. That's what we call it, like marketing support, but also software engineering, development of ERPs, and so on. Also central invoicing. So we take the whole client relation is with us. For our suppliers, we support them as well. And we have an education pillar. And that's why we came in contact with MobieTrain, because we used to give physical courses, or the physical in person, I would say, which means that, for example, sales training or legal aspects, they were always organized the old-fashioned way. And we felt that distance, traffic, availability of our clients, it would be more and more difficult. So we want to innovate that thing because education is always really important. For me, I would say a day without learning is a day without living, is a day not lived. So we started to know MobieTrain. We developed a digital platform for learning, which means learning for our means that is like product showcases, differences between different lineups, like Siemens and Siemens Studio Line, all things we developed together, but also soft skills, also sales training. So it's a broad variety of courses that we offer. And now we have some sort of hybrid Royal Crown Academy, and with a vast offer already developed together with MobieTrain. So to come back to the beginning, Royal Crown as a buying group, purchasing group, we try to offer as many as services simplify the life of our clients. And the clients are independent kitchen stores and also electronic retailers. So we do mostly everything for them as a sort of service center, the middleman, let's say.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I think that's a wonderful introduction. And as you said, a wonderful hybrid solution as well. And if I look back in the days with how we started, we firstly implemented some product tracks. And so we said, okay, what is very important now, especially for the salespeople? And that was that they know their product. And Frank, I want to ask you, like, okay, what were the things that went well there, but also what were the challenges that we had when we first launched those product tracks?
Yeah, the challenges are, I think, for maybe for a lot of companies that use MobieTrain are always the same. We use it for the own employees. That's more easy. But for the clients, they have to adopt the app. They have to take the effort to discover, to explore. And that's not always easy, but then we made together a great communication approach with now soon we'll have an official also launch event. So for us, it's relatively new. I think we're started with MobieTrain like 6 to 9 months ago, but we already have some followers. So, but making people adopt the app to gain more of the habit to learn every day. That's the most challenging part, but there I think MobieTrain is the ideal solution because of the micro-learning concept. We have micro-learnings, short bits that can be learned whenever a user wants. So that's a great advantage. Also, the perception with the clients of Royal Crown, that means the kitchen retailers, so the company owners and their personnel, is also really good. They like the format. That was important for me because yeah, when you're all day in store and you get home, it takes a little effort to learn something. Taking a book the old-fashioned way, learning a course, that's not always easy. So the ideal solution was, okay, let's translate it into easy pieces, and that really worked. So that was a great success, I think. Also, we developed together some courses that support the buying pillar. For example, Siemens, for those who know this, one of the biggest brands in built-in appliances. Built-in appliances, the main buying category for the Royal Crown. So, but they made the difference between Siemens and Siemens Studio line. Siemens Studio line is a specific product range only available for specialist independents, my clients. But they didn't know the difference between the regular lineup and the Siemens Studio lineup. So what did we do together? We developed the course, really easy, but fast enough and profound enough to have an idea about the difference, because there's a certain gain for them, a certain benefit if they sell more studio line. So in that way, we served two goals, and that was really interesting also for us from a perspective of a commercial perspective. The serving the buying politics, so it's really important, and learning also giving the salespersons on the floor the right tools so they can explain the difference, which is not always easy. So that is some examples.
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic example. The Siemens Studio line, also maybe from a marketing point of view, but from a product point of view, where yeah, I can imagine if I would tomorrow go and sell kitchens, there would be huge amount of things that I would need to learn. And the technology is also a technology in every industry it's booming. I remember you were last time you were speaking about some new some new fire to cook on, but it was embedded into the surface of
Yeah.
the stone or the. I mean, it's totally insane. It's crazy, and there would be huge amount of content that you would need to learn about. But this is really a good example of choosing something campaign based to say, okay, this is now for the business, for us as Royal Crown, but also maybe for Siemens. This is a huge priority to educate people, and you don't say, okay, let's try to do everything. Let's try to create huge amount of courses and from all the different brands, from all the technologies, etc. But let's start there because this will impact our business the most efficient way, I think. Yeah. So I think that's a good example of campaign.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. By putting up in little pieces, that helps a lot because yeah, the brands we work with, like Miele, etc., they also have their own training centers. But as you say, Sven, it's always a huge course, which is good. No critics about that. But we know that if you want to translate it really to the floor, it has to be easy. It has to be fun. And well, you can say a lot of things, but MobieTrain is easy and fun to use. So we try to serve mostly several goals while developing our courses together. Yeah, now we are developing also a specific course for Royal Crown for our own employees.
The onboarding.
But the onboarding, the same onboarding will be used for our members because we offer such a variety of services that even certain members don't know what we offer. And that's a shame, of course, because they have all benefits by using them. Also, the community function that's offered by MobieTrain, we are planning to use that also in a second phase, I would say, because the reason we chose for MobieTrain within the Digital Academy, because we could have several goals at the main time. We want to simplify the communication via to our members because, yeah, we have newsletters, we have promotions, we have events, we have such a variety of subjects. So we are sending mails and newsletters every day. So in the near future, we will try to bundle that also within the community functions of MobieTrain. So then we have in fact three objectives that can be solved with one app. And that was also one of my ideas when I wanted to have a learning app. It started by, okay, I want to have a communication app. And then I met Vic and Sven and we said, okay, why not make it a full package, because the system, MobieTrain, the software, the development is perfectly suited for that. And that's maybe a little another way of using the platform, but it perfectly suits. So I think there will be some more next level things we are going to develop now in the near future. But then we start, okay, it's a learn app in the basics. So we started also with that basics, offering different courses, appliances, but also soft skills, legal matters, all kind of things. Also a partnership with a company that offers sales trainings. All the courses we create together with MobieTrain for our clients are always for free, but everything doesn't have to be for free. So a masterclass sales can be bought for really cheap price, of course. So we have some sort of variety of courses and solutions for everyone. If you really want to go in depth, okay, that's a specialty. Then you have to pay a little bit of money. But the main goal is that we develop the platform together and see, okay, what are the specific needs? Also, really interesting, as we've been using it now, I see that clients ask the question, okay, can you write me a specific track for that? And we say, of course we can do that. If it's used and it can be, can serve a certain goal within the company and it's a good client, of course we do that. A little bit made to measure, because the mission of Royal Crown as a company is, of course, an independent, is not a buying chain, so he has his own identity, and we want to be there to promote the store with his own identity, help him as much to be unique in his region with his own name. So made to measure courses will be a logical consequence that will follow, or certain tracks. For example, okay, one person sells a lot of that product, so we can make a product track, but a product track can always serve for the whole group. But I'm open to that feedback from my clients. Why not make something unique? Why not? The system can make it possible. And the made-to-measure approach also in making some courses attracts accessible with the user groups and so on, makes it in our business model ideal, because we are the made-to-measure company. That's what differentiates us from other buying groups in our sector.
And I think that's really, really nice to hear, Frank, that you say that you're really also listening to your clients, because you could on one hand say, here are some trainings, this is what I think you need, but you're reversing the question also towards your clients to say, what is it that you need, and to
What is it
investigate
that you need? Exactly.
together with them. Because if you co-create this together with your clients as well, of course the adoption of the platform will be even better, because it's really made for them. And so what I also thought was very interesting, Frank, in your strategy, is that we're starting with the learning tool, and now we're gonna start implementing the community as well. Is that how you're creating value over time with MobieTrain, with your clients? I
Yeah,
really think that, because you could have launched it maybe, yeah, all at once and all different functionalities, but that can also be overwhelming at the same time for people, and
yeah,
actually the counterproductive effect, I would say. So that's
yeah.
fantastic, fantastic to hear.
That's in all our software development pillar as well. Simplicity is best. Uh,
Mm.
Yeah,
the clients of Royal Crown, they sell kitchens. They have to run a factory. They're not per definition. Uh, uh, yeah, they don't have the habit maybe to use learning apps and digital solutions. So we have to take it step by step. And also from a marketing point of view, from a commercial point of view, that's interesting. You can add always extra functionality. But at one time, you have to start. Of course, everybody wants to start. Okay, now I have the Royal Crown University, let's say, and I can offer you the hundreds of courses. And from now on, you can access them all. We know from experience that that's not the right go-to-market strategy
Mm.
for innovation, because innovation means change, and change needs a little management, and change is not always well perceived, or people are always a little bit hesitating for new solutions.
mm,
So you have to take it step by step, letting people take the time of getting know a new platform. And once they know it, I know that from the clients who use MobieTrain successfully and regularly, they're really enthusiastic because they really see the point of that. Uh, there is a question I see. Do you currently use any digital tools for employee training? I will be glad to answer that if I may. Um, we use, of course, MobieTrain as well, because all the courses we create are as well for our employees. When we write something about Siemens or Siemens Studio Line, to get back to that example, yeah, of course, it's logical that the personnel of Royal Crown, the employees who work with these products and specs every day, they have to know it. So they also follow the courses. For them, that's also part of the lifelong learning. We'll come back to that later on. But we also are starting to create our own courses for the personnel. The onboarding for Royal Crown is a good example of that, because now we have the typical brochure we give. It's a really fancy book. A new member of our personnel, new employee, can read that, take it home, ask questions. But if we make it also in the same way, fun and little bits, I think it will be also better. Plus, you get as time passes, you get a great inventory of your company, and it may always developing things, doing innovation always gives you some sort of retrospective mindset. You have to be critical. Yeah, I'm always critical towards our own activities, and once you start developing, okay, we have to see how does invoicing work at Royal Crown. Let's make a little track of that, and you will see also the inefficiency in your own processes. So it's always a little bit introspective. I like that a lot. So
yeah, you see the evolution. I think that's really nice. No, thank you so much for telling how we started and where we are now. And I was about to say the exact same thing as Sven said. I love that it's a two-way street, that it's not top down, that you say, okay, here is everything I need you to study, but that we also get interest from the clients, that they tell us like, oh, we would also love to see this and this. And with the community function, it will also be like more of a two-way street exercise. And yeah, I also think it's very nice to see that we've started working on the onboarding, because product is one thing. It's very important that people know what they sell, that they know the features and benefits, that they can differentiate themselves and their products. But onboarding is a great way to just introduce your values and your mission, and you have a very strong mission and very strong values as a company. So I love seeing that, people get to know more about that as well, and they can ask questions, and it's an add-on to the existing brochure. So again, the blending element is in there as well. But maybe to hop on to the next question, last time when we were having a meeting, it was the three of us. I remember you talked a lot about sustainability as well. And in all honesty, when I hear the word sustainability, I think about recycling, I think about green products, I think about windmills, energy, all of that. But you had a very different angle when it came to sustainability, and I thought that was like the perfect bridge to the next segment. So I was wondering, Frank, if you could tell us a bit more what you mean with sustainability when it comes to education.
Yeah, I would love to. Yeah, of course. We moved well for about 2 years ago, I think, to this new building. Of course, it's energy neutral, even negative. That was a quick win.
Mm.
But what as a company that only offers services, for me the challenge was I want to be also sustainable in that. And now the sustainability for a service-based company, those are other criteria, other SDGs we can work on. And I saw immediately, okay, educating people, give them knowledge about the sector, that's also being sustainable. So I made really a sustainability approach toward suppliers, towards the employees, and towards our clients, to say that the app, the fact that we create an app, is a movement towards sustainability. Also from the ecological aspect, if you don't have to organize courses, people don't have to drive, etc. It will be from an ecological point of view in some sort of way also a benefit. But introducing more easy learning, make it accessible to large groups of people. That is the main vision I had about how can we make, for example, a sustainability aspect for that within Royal Crown. And there the app is of course an ideal tool, because sharing the knowledge is directly SDG for educating people, offering solutions, making it accessible not only for price, etc., but that's directly SDG 4. So to come back to the broader approach in our sustainability trajectory, we focus lots on the human aspect, also for the employees, offering that for free to the employees. And lifelong learning is also really important in our sustainability approach. Offering MobieTrain, for example, is a good way to start. But here in our company, for example, hours of education, if it's digital or not, if it's used by the app or not, doesn't matter. There is no limit on that. Everybody can take as many courses as they want if they are relevant for him or her as a person or for his job. So I'm a really open and transparent look on that, because only knowledge on different aspects of life and work life and so on, and business, that is the motive for innovation. Without knowledge, there can be no innovation in my way. And I think that's maybe a sustainable way of viewing the transfer of knowledge to a next generation, making it accessible and so on. That's a bit the idea I had behind, Vic, if that is an answer to your question.
It's perfect, because I don't think that a lot of people thought of investing in your people as a sustainable approach. But like you said, it's lifelong learning. You make sure that your people have the knowledge that they need, but also retention. Like if you invest in them, and if you, not just with product tracks, but with onboarding, maybe even wellness and well-being type of tracks, you show that you care. You show that it's more than just selling or providing a service. So yeah, no, I think it's. I think many people don't think of that. So very interesting approach. Sorry, go ahead.
A little more fluffy, I like to call it. I would be helping them with I would like to help them with some self-fulfillment. That's a
Yeah, yeah,
I
both.
can't offer a meaning of life by being by offering a job. So those expectations I can't live up to, but I can give my people all the tools, all the things they need to fulfill themselves and to
Yeah.
develop their talents.
Mm, exactly.
And
Yeah,
that
their skills and make them, yeah. And again, there too, it's very interesting that if they start seeing that and if they ask you specifically, like, okay, we've done these trainings now, but can we also do something on this and this? Because there too, then start to realize like, okay, I need this information to boost my skills, whether it be sales or other type of knowledge. It's not really that important, but yeah, I think it's a beautiful approach. All right, great. Sven, I don't know if you have anything to add or ask from your side. Otherwise, we already move on to
No.
my next question. No, perfect. So we already heard quite a lot of points on how you've tackled the entire approach with MobiTrain. But as you said in the beginning, it's not always easy change management, especially maybe with your more traditional workforce. To okay, you have this tool, you have the vision, you're very passionate, you want to make this work, and you want to get your people just as passionate. That is a huge challenge for many companies, for many people. And what would
exactly.
be there your advice?
What would be my advice? Start now.
Well,
No,
true.
it's a process. It's a process. Um, the most beautiful thing you can get for your clients or your employees is that they are engaged with the company. An engagement with the company, which means that you have to look at your people like real persons, not only employees, but people with own opinions, with everything, and they are respected here as they are. And I think an approach from a human kind of view, and not only seeing them as, okay, you have to do this and this task, and this will me as a company have so much benefit, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. If you take a human aspect and you make, yeah, you let that feel throughout the floor here, I see that that works a lot. And um, making them adopt the tools, that's a process in time. Of course, someone who starts new, you can say, "Oh, I'm not gonna follow those tracks." That's not in my job description, for example. Everybody hears that nowadays. But my main mission is to convince them that even if it's not specifically in the job description, that it can make the job more interesting, because maybe the listeners, the viewers have also that experience. The expectations of on the work floor for a company like this, I speak for my own company, from my employees are rather high. So I was talking about meaning of life. Sometimes I think I can't offer you meaning of life. They say, okay, I want more depth in my job, more yeah, meaning. And yeah, I say, if you want more meaning, there's only one way, and that is to see, okay, where can I find more knowledge? Where can I find that meaning? And meaning, creating value has always a counterpart. And this, okay, once you have the deeper knowledge of what you do and you understand what's the main drive, the mission, the vision of the company, then making them adopt microlearnings, education, and so on becomes really easy. But that's for the most people, yeah, like a click that has to be made. And it's a process. It's a process. But you see, offering digital tools for Gen Z employees, they really like it because
Mm,
it's easy, it's fun. They know that they don't know anything other
makes sense. Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah.
Uh,
So
I think I think in that change management cycle, from what I've seen in the past, or maybe some other companies, sometimes we emphasize a bit too much on the, let's say, the negative spectrum. So the people that, oh no, we need to convince the negative mindset people into a culture of learning, etc. Whilst we actually see that if you focus more on yeah, the people that have that intrinsic motivation, that you come with your vision, Frank, you completely motivate them, and they say like, yeah, I got it. It's those people also to leverage on, because that group will grow and grow, which is a much better approach than focusing purely on those that maybe will never have that mindset. I think that's also a possibility, right? That we cannot win them all, but
Yeah.
at
No,
least.
that's not necessary. That's not necessary as well. But I agree to you, Sven, really. But I specifically for Royal Crown, we also do groups, courses, trainings, not with the app then, okay? But um, it's really important that employees or clients, that they also look in themselves. They are people are always tending to say, "Ah, yeah, okay, but that one and this and no and that and that." You have to look at yourself. What's my value or my possible value or potential within this group of people and within this company? And once they realize, hey, I'm talented with video. I have a content marketeer that's really strong in video. So I'm trying to motivate that certain employee to go further with that. Because maybe it's not the initial education that's been followed, but why not develop a talent?
Mhm.
Things like
I
that.
was about to say exactly that. I think, and if I even look at myself, it's the biggest motivator if you feel like, hey, I'm good at this and I enjoy doing this. But to become good at something, you first need to know how. You need to have the skills and the knowledge to be able to grow in your job. But I think once you've made that click and you feel confident in what you do, you enjoy it so much more. But again, like you said, it's a process to get there, and it's not
In the
from one
process,
day.
and confidence, fake confidence is also a result from learning. Once you
Exactly.
master a certain aspect, you gain confidence, and once you
Mhm.
gain confidence, you can take initiative, and you get trust within yourself, and trust, and all those things. That means for a company owner like myself in the long term, loyalty. And
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
loyalty and engagement. And once we are there, you see that in principle, uh, uh, an employee is determining as well as me the direction of the company once they're in that zone. And a digital app may be the beginning, but also um, can be there in the whole trajectory all the time. And what we see now is internally, um, there we have a brainstorm board where we put up ideas for crash courses within MobieTrain. Oh, maybe that would be interesting. Oh, maybe that would be interesting. Why not try that? And we retain certain ideas, and then we come to the MobieTrain team, and they always succeed in translating it into something really, really good. Huh? And so that's also, yeah, collaborating as a team.
Exactly. Yeah.
Together, challenging each other. Help.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. I also think it's a little bit of a snowball effect. So once you have, even if it's just one person, but if you have this one person that is your guru or your digital learning ambassador, or even just learning ambassador, and other people see that person grow and see them become confident and see them being good at their job and engaged, that other people probably going to have the feeling like, hey, I want that too. And then once that starts, but again, can be a pretty long process, but at least, yeah, you're getting somewhere step by step.
Yeah,
So,
my clients have the same problems. Uh, okay, uh, in our approach to promote MobieTrain, we first approach our company owners, the clients, the CEOs and the owners and so on. And once they are convinced, you see, it's really easy that the employees in their company are convinced as well, because MobieTrain serves several goals in our knowledge approach, because well, the salespersons on the floor, they have the most interest in knowing the difference between Siemens Studio Line and Siemens regular, because they have to sell it. But if the company owner is convinced, of course, that goes a little bit more easy. So,
Yeah,
and
and
with certain clients as well, the idea for the courses, the made to measure process is coming to us now. So I'm really open to that, because that means they really adopt the idea of learning, lifelong learning, micro learnings, gaining knowledge, be one step ahead of your competitors. So it's a positive flow.
yeah. And I think it's not rocket science in the sense that if you're a company owner, I'm a kitchen retailer, and what do I need? Maybe two things. To be a member of Royal Crown because I want to have the best buying conditions.
Yeah, of course.
Best
That's the
buying conditions.
basis.
And secondly, I need my staff to be able to sell kitchens and devices in the best possible way. So it's a win-win situation, and I think easy as well to get some buy-in from the owners to say, yeah, I believe in this. If of course it's maybe one person that says, well, I've been selling kitchens for 30 years, it's maybe a different story. But if I have three people walking around in my showroom, I would really hope that they have fantastic selling skills. They have fantastic product knowledge in order to have the best sales results, which ultimately is the goal, I think.
Yeah. You have to help people with that because, yeah, uh, uh, the innovations also in our product categories goes really fast now. You have connectivity, smart home, everything that's also becoming an important part in the kitchen. So you have to keep up with the whole innovation because the consumer, he knows already. He will ask you, and if you don't know what he's talking about, yeah, that's not good for your sales process.
Yeah.
So we try to give them really the tools also on the floor to be one step ahead because the consumer, in the end, that's the one who decides. In the mission of Royal Crown, we want to, everything we do, keeping made to measure carpentry accessible to the consumer. That's what we do, helping our clients to gain costs, to offer everything so they can be specialists at a good price level. So the consumer, in the end, can choose between a buying chain, between IKEA and big brands like that, or an independent, offering the choice. That's the main goal. And if you want to offer the choice, you have to offer the tools as well to your clients so that they can keep up with all the innovations, all the buying conditions, of course, as well. And that's a little bit the mission. And everybody who's viewing and listening can see that the learning platform, is an ideal tool for realizing that goal as well. So it certainly has its place in that mission statement.
Yeah, and I was about to say, like, the other side of the coin when it comes to innovation is that, okay, it's wonderful and you're moving forward and you're creating these, or you have these amazing products to sell. But like you said, I can imagine everything changes every day with technology. And I can imagine how many booklets and flyers and whatever people get with, okay, we have this new technology, it does this, and this. And to avoid that it's so overwhelming, you need to focus, okay, these are like the three main things that my people need to know. If they know this and they can explain this to the client, that's already amazing. And then that's what we try to focus on and what we brainstorm about as well, because we always get amazing content from you guys, and then we try to say, okay, now we need to add the micro-learning aspect, focus on what is it that the people really need to know, what is it that will help them to sell these innovative solutions. And that's also a challenge, but as we said, like, together we have a very good communication around
Yeah,
that.
there's a good dynamic there because you guys, you know how to translate rather technical info into a comprehensible crash course where I get the basics even a little bit further, but I know what's going on. I know what the difference is between that appliance and that feature and that feature. Uh, um, so that's really welcome. And you see, the big problem for a company like Royal Crown is we have traditional company owners with a traditional product, a wooden kitchen, with a traditional client because we're in the more premium segment and our target group is growing a little bit older. That's not a problem, but they like all more traditional. They have traditional values. So a digital learning app with crash courses and some sort of gamification and you can win things and all like that. That's rather a big change. But innovation is always not difficult, but it's always challenging to make it adopt,
Yeah.
make it work until the floor. But we're really determined to get there. But there's still a way to go. And yeah, we see if you are in a really traditional sector, that's not easy,
Mm,
but everybody realizes that it's useful. That's
mm.
the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. That too.
And to
Uh,
come back to your feedback, Frank, or your advice, start now instead of waiting another 5 to 10 years to say now we need to play catch up. So yeah.
Yeah, technology is evolving really fast. In the appliances, okay, when I started my career like 18 years ago, you had the traditional oven with uh, like buttons. You can turn them. And yeah, if you see now, yeah, it's completely also um, controlled by an app. You have sustainability. You have in the smart home concept that your dishwasher will wait an hour because you know that it will be more cheap and more ecological to start the program at night. Things like that. So it's evolving really fast. You have an automatic cooking function on most of the domestic ovens that already can create that really good results while cooking. So yeah, if you have to keep up with all that of innovation, yeah, you have to be fast. And the advice would be, okay, why not start today? If you believe in it and you see the use of it, and certainly digital learning is the way to go, will be only if we look a little bit further. I'm going a little bit philosophical now, if I may. In the future, it will be the only way at the long term that will be having it accessible, because schools are not finding teachers and
yeah,
it's difficult to organize all that. Groups of schools are coming together, are closing some parts, things like that. Finding a teacher for French language, which I studied in a long time ago, is becoming really difficult. So yeah, we have to make the switch also to keep it accessible and to offer knowledge in another way as the traditional way of thinking in person in the classroom. Uh, so if you want to be there, you can better start it now. And the advice is, if you make in company courses for your employees and your people, um, try to analyze the process. Once you will start creating a course, you will see, okay, maybe there are some inefficiencies, maybe that's not logical. So I learned a lot about thinking, okay, how we can how we can implement this the best way. And then you start thinking, okay, maybe I'm not the right tool. And that's why we want to develop the community tool, for example, as I discussed with MobieTrain, because I'm sending too many newsletters and I see that the readability is going down, and I don't want that because it's really relevant information for the client of mine.
Mm,
So are we going to solve it? Make it easy again. Make one point of contact.
mm,
exactly. I think, Sven, correct me if I'm wrong, I think we see that with quite a lot of clients. Like once they start and they realize how much there is to tell, or even like back to the onboarding, it's a very good self-reflection. And then it's incredibly difficult to say like, okay, but what things can we leave out and what is essential now? Or how are we going to communicate this? And maybe we should rethink this and this and this.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, and also if like from our side, because we were a little bit like a third party, we're not royal crowners, as so to say, ourselves. So we see it from a different perspective. Then you see it again on how we transformed it. So yeah, I think that's also a very good exercise for like business owners and learning and development managers and so on. So no, very, very interesting. I feel like I can talk about this for like 5 more hours because I will about
Yeah,
AI.
it's always
Yeah.
a little bit developing digital tools, always a little bit eye-opening. If I can say one thing, this with the MobieTrain team, from in the beginning, there was a clear path. We followed it, and also from the point of costs, we stick to the plan. So
Mhm.
in software development, the broader, we all know we all know the myths. We never get what we ask. It always costs more. Never delivered on time. So, so with MobieTrain, we did not have those problems. I can really assure you that's the truth. So that's fun. But yeah, people are not already. To come a little bit back to the subject. People are not really used to using already digital apps for learning. So if you're a company owner, I would suggest to start now, because my opinion was, I explained it a few minutes ago, that it will be one of the only ways for sharing knowledge in the future, which will be accessible, cheap, and effective. It will also give you the possibility to look at your own processes. It's always a learning trajectory as well. And that makes it really interesting because you can optimize your company structure wherever you are planning on doing a track. And that makes it, yeah, and so optimization tool in some sort of way. As we were creating the onboarding course, you start thinking about, okay,
Exactly.
lesson I learned, I always talk about my 4 pillars. Why? The core activities that's easy for people to understand. But what's the consequence? That your own employees start thinking in pillars as well. But I don't want that. I want everybody to be part of the big team because IT is really important for e-commerce, which is also important for marketing. So they have to be constant interaction between different departments here. So while developing together with the MobieTrain guys, the onboarding, say maybe I should change that because I want IT also to work together with marketing because that's
Yeah.
for the most people logical.
Mm.
So that's some sort of things I mean. It is always a learning process for yourself as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
And of course, MobieTrain, we try to keep it simple or easy to use. This is the exact word. If you want to keep it easy, it always challenges you to see the core of what you want to say. What's the synthesis? And that's not always easy. And once you tell, okay, I have to make this in 20 minutes, what I'm gonna say. And then you always see, okay, maybe I should do this in the near future on another way because I can't say it in 20 minutes. That's not okay. I have to
Mm.
be able to explain what I do in 5 minutes. I have a presentation that's called Royal Crown in 5 minutes, and it succeeded one time to explain it in 5 minutes. but that depends more on me. So but I mean is it makes you think about, okay, what do I stand for if I want to have an onboarding track for a new employee, and it has to be easy and it has to be complete, but it also has to be the essence of what you do, and you have 20 minutes. Yeah, that's challenging to try to, okay, what to put in, where do I stand for? So, and that I think is really interesting. That triggers me a lot. Think also about myself and my company from that point of view. So the main advice is act now.
I
Cool.
I think that's the perfect moment to also wrap up. It's a beautiful conclusion, and like you said, indeed, that is a challenge, but it is also something that with brainstorming and with passionate people like yourself, that you can get through that, and then eventually you find the right approach, even though it might be a process. But I was just checking, by the way, if we had any more questions. No, I think not. That's great. So I'm going to round off here. Frank, thank you again so much for joining.
That's one important detail that people need
Sure,
to know
sure.
because I forgot it. We together we created a reporting tool so that if you have in company courses in MobieTrain, that it counts for lifelong learning of our government in Belgium. That's really important because there was a question from our clients. We looked at it together and we developed a reporting method. So if you create a course for your personnel, it also counts for the 8 hours that are necessary for each employee.
For the federal learning account.
Yeah, perfect.
So that's for me, that was a big advantage. Not internally, I explained my approach for life learning, not in company here, but my clients, they were really happy with that
Oh,
because they,
that's great to
okay,
hear. Perfect. Thank you so much. Again, honored that we had you as a guest, Frank. Always a pleasure.
thanks for having me.
Very, yeah, no, thank you. And Sven, thank you also so much for joining and to explain a bit more as well the customer success side of our story. And yeah, thank you so much to our viewers who joined. We will also be sending a recap, and you will be able to rewatch this webinar whenever you want. And then I hope to see all of you in our next Mobie Talk. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. All right. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.